Here with me is a PS5 Slim, and in this video I'll be letting you know whether you should buy one in 2026 despite its really high price tag now, which I'll get to later on. Before I start the video, leave a comment on what platform you currently play on, and also let's try get this video to 500 likes. So if you enjoy the video, just give it that thumbs up. Before I get to the console itself, I just want to talk about the controller really quick. I really like this controller. The only thing is the battery's just not the best on it. It lasts about 5 hours. It is USB-C, which is great though. And I just like how it's got the battery compared to even the Xbox controller. I just find it easier with just charging a controller instead of swapping out batteries. It's just better. I know you can buy the Xbox accessory, but it's still like $30 Australian. The other thing I like about the controller is you do have adaptive triggers, which is pretty much if you're to pull on the controller's triggers. In some games at moments they can make it harder to pull. Kind of just that, more feedback, stuff like that. But also this pattern's very cool. Try get it to focus. As you can see, I've got it focused. Those are lots of shapes that the PlayStation controller uses, which is very cool detail. Not only is it just on the controller, but as you can see, it's also on the inside of the console, which is quite cool. Taking a look at the console, this is the PS5 Slim disc that I've got here. And it's got the two USB-Cs at the front compared to a USB-A and a USB-C on the original. This one's also got the disc drive, which you can take it off, or if you were to find like a digital version, you can buy the disc drive by itself, and then you can just attach it really, just like these plates. And then here on the Slim, you've also got a line down the middle, which makes it easy to identify. I don't mind it, to be honest. I prefer the Slim over the original big PS5. It's just smaller, still not small, obviously. I'll show you it compared to the PS4 Slim, but it just looks a bit cleaner in my opinion, except you do need to get some of these plastic legs. I got mine secondhand. I'll get to prices in a sec. I got mine secondhand and it didn't come with it, so I just need to order some off AliExpress. Right now, I usually balance it on a book, but it's just balancing on some LED light controllers. Now here's the PS4 Slim in comparison on top of the PS5. I did recently make a video on the PS4 Slim. That's up here if you'd like to watch it. But as you can see, look at that size difference. It's just massive. Also, just take a look at that height difference. The whole PS4 Slim is pretty much the same height as the PS5's disc drive. In terms of storage on the PS5 Slim, you get about a terabyte. Well, a bit less than that, obviously, because it takes up the PS5 software. Takes about 100 gigs. But these are the games I've downloaded with PlayStation Plus for the videos that I do. So you got a couple of smaller kind of games. But then you got Cyberpunk, Ghost of Tsushima, Far Cry 5, Days Gone, FC26, God of War Ragnarok, Crew Motorfest, Last of Us Part 2, which I'm playing right now. There's a lot of space on this 1TB SSD. You shouldn't have too many issues. But if you do have issues with the storage, you can just open up the PS5 and insert an SSD. However, they do cost a lot. I think a 1TB SSD is about an extra $250 Australian, or about a bit under $200 US. Now I'm going to play some games to test performance. The games I'll be playing in this video, I'll be playing the Crew Motorfest first, then I'll be playing The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, and then I'll play Ghost of Tsushima, so you can skip to them if you prefer to see one of those games and how well it performs on the PS5 Slim. Before I start as well, as you can hear, there is no noise coming from the PS5 Slim at all. This is the tiniest bit of noise, whereas the PS4 Pro especially, or the original PS4 Slim doesn't sound too much. We'd be going insane. And it's always on when you're loading up the games really, it's never really during them too much. Now let's take a look at how quick the Crew Motorfest loads. So just press the button then. See how long it takes. Should be pretty quick. I've played this game on a good amount of consoles. I played it on an Xbox One, Series X, and now, well, I've played it on the PS5 a good amount, probably the most out of all of them. And I can tell you before I show you footage, this game runs really well. It's just very well optimized by Ubisoft, as you'd expect. Very fun game if you haven't tried it out, but I'll show you some gameplay. Keep seeing how long it takes though. There it is, pretty quick. And now it will load in. This game's just, graphics are really good. I'm playing it on a monitor as well. The PS5 does support up to 4K 120. However, this game is just 4K 60. 60 FPS is the most for this game that you can really play anyway. Even PC has a maximum of 60 FPS. I think it's to prevent like hacks or something, but I believe you can hack it and get above that, which for a game this good would be amazing. Imagine playing this at 200 FPS, would be great. But no complaints at 60 FPS. Most of these racing games feel buttery smooth. I'll try to show you the haptic feedback here. So I'm just going to reverse a little, and then you can should be able to see the controller kind of vibrates. However, it's just in the triggers. So each of these triggers have some little vibrations in them. So I'll reverse back and then I'll go. You kind of see it vibrate then. So that's just pretty much what haptic feedback is if you were a bit confused. I've just hopped in a race just with some bots, just see what it's like. And as expected, this game still looks very good. No complaints. Looks very nice at night with these very neon-y colors. Nothing to complain about with this game. Looks very good. Of course, 120 FPS would be nice, but you can't really complain. Still feels very smooth. Let's get on to the next game. Here is The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered on the PS5. I'm playing on performance mode, which I believe runs the game at 1440p 60 FPS. Feels very good. You don't really need more than 60 FPS in these kinds of games. Just like racing ones, honestly. They still feel great at 60 FPS. It's more the shooters you want more than that. But Fortnite on the PS5 does do that. Does do 120 FPS. But this game, The Last of Us Part 2, feels very good. You can also put it to 30 FPS if you'd like to have your graphics increased. That's called quality mode. However, I reckon the graphics still look amazing, even at the performance mode, especially on the 4K TV. They just look amazing. Even on here, it looks very good when I'm recording. I'm at that part of the game when I'm looking for oil. I'll just use Google in a sec to find it out because I've got no idea what I'm doing. But this game's been pretty good so far. Graphics especially make a game better. And it's been pretty good experience. I'm getting helped out a bit. On the PS5, no complaints at all. I know on PC it's like amazing if you have like a 5090, 5080 this game. Apparently it's like mind-blowing with the graphics. But I would say on the PS5 it still looks amazing. So while I run around for a bit, how much can you expect to pay for one of these PS5 Slims in 2026? The price may blow your mind, but one of these right now with the disc drive is 1,000 Australian dollars. 1,000, I think that's way too much. So that's about 700 US dollars if you want the PS5 Slim with the disc drive. And the digital, I think it's about 850 Australian dollars. I'll show that on screen right now. I would not recommend buying one brand new because $1,000 for a PS5, you may as well just go and get yourself a PC. Spend that tiny bit more. Get yourself like a 5060 Ti PC, especially if you like playing at a desk in front of a monitor. Now here's what I would do if I were you, and this is what I also did to get my PS5 about a week or so ago. I was just missing out. I wanted a PS5 again, so I got one. Go onto Marketplace or whatever you use around you. I wouldn't recommend eBay. Just go on Marketplace. You can find yourself some really good deals there. I say it all the time. I literally paid half the price it is brand new. And look at all the stuff I got that's on screen right now. I got an extra controller, which also came with a box. That's a bonus. So I'll probably sell it, and it'll sell faster if it's got the box. It also came with a 4K 60 monitor, which I'm not going to use that, but I'll probably sell it. Shame it didn't come with the stand though, but oh well. Still good to have that. I thought it was like a 1080p 144Hz I was getting. And then it also came with a headset as well. It's an alright headset. I'll probably try sell it. It's been like barely used. It's in good condition, so why not? And also just a controller charger. But 500 Australian dollars, so at 300 US dollars, I reckon that's a pretty solid deal that I got. And you can get one as well if you're quick on Marketplace. Now here is Ghost of Tsushima. Sadly, I'm kind of starting the game from the start again. I got about 10 hours in on my last PS5 that I had. And then I didn't have PS Plus back then. So then it just wiped everything. That's what it does when you don't have PS Plus. I didn't pay for it, so that's okay. You get what you deserve, I guess. But this game runs amazing on this. Would be good if I still had the saves like I mentioned last time, because it would make me really want to get back into this game. But it's kind of devastating when you played 10 hours for nothing. But I probably will, to be honest, get back into this game, because it was such a good game. I would easily also say that it's probably one of the best graphically looking games on the PS5. Also, if you're thinking about getting a PS5 Pro while you're watching this video, I probably wouldn't recommend that. It's just not too much of a difference. You can if you want. It's gotten closer since the PS5 Slim, not the Pro's price increase. But if you wanted that 2TB storage, maybe that's actually worth it for you. If you wanted more storage, because it does come with a terabyte extra, which you may as well just get the PS5 Pro instead of getting a PS5 Slim and then getting an extra terabyte of storage if you're going to need it eventually. Yeah, just look at these graphics the game has to offer. I also play it in performance mode as well. Performance mode's just better. Why would you want to have your game all 30 FPS for it to look that tiny bit better? 60 FPS performance mode, it's just so much better. Also, make sure you comment, like, do you use performance mode or quality? I don't know too many people that use quality mode, because 60 FPS to 30 FPS, just a whole different, pretty much smooth versus stuttery. So, should you buy a PS5 Slim in 2026? I think you should. However, only secondhand. If you're thinking of buying one brand new, spend that extra bit of money and get yourself a good PC to play on. But I would definitely just, whatever you do, get it secondhand. You're paying half the price. Put that extra money towards games, or you could even get yourself a Switch 2 with the money that you're saving by getting one secondhand. Anyways, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like the video to get it up to 500 likes. And I've got another video for you here, the PS4 Slim in 2026.